Qasim was with us here for a little while. Qasim was supposed to fight tonight. His opponent didn't show up. I was interested to watch that fight.
It's good to hear the perspective of somebody with a ton of striking experience.
Yeah, so Qasim's 2-0 in BKFC right now.
Nice.
In bare knuckle, he was going to make his pro boxing debut.
Those guys are built different, man.
Yeah, and he's experienced pro MMA fighter and amateur MMA fighter. In fact, way back in the day in the same promotion, he and I won amateur titles on the same night.
Nice.
I won the $155, he won the $145. There were a few times when the promoters were trying to match us up and it just never worked out.
Yeah.
It's a pleasure to have him in the booth.
Well, that was a few pounds ago. I don't know if you guys are going to get matched up anymore.
Yeah, I think the difference is vast.
Yeah.
Now, unless I get like a leg amputated or something.
So this will be an interesting fight. Jordan looks to have a considerable amount of height to him, and Ryan is standing about 6'4", 6'5".
So we've got two big light heavyweights here, both 3-0 as well. These are guys with good records. This is a tough match for both of them.
I'd be shocked if Ryan's not 215, 218 right now. Weighing in at 205 last night. Got rehydrated, got fed, had a nice T-bone steak.
And we saw Ryan fight here in Lexington before, I believe.
Very recently.
Yeah, with a triangle choke.
Yeah. He's very game off his back. Prefers to stand, but he is no slouch. He is a very tough. He's got his blue belt under Professor Rob Nickerson out of Reaction MMA. And those belts aren't given, folks. They are earned.
We see Rob in the corner as well.
Yeah. Professor Rob Nickerson. We've got Grant Holland, another mixed martial arts fighter, kickboxer, Muay Thai, heavy striker in Ryan's corner tonight as well. See if Ryan looks to employ this oblique kick, which unfortunately is named oblique kick, but it's typically targeted at the knee of your opponent.
Yeah, I think it's just called that because the angle that the foot is thrown at is an oblique angle, but it's a strange.
That makes, that's the first time I've heard it make any sense to me.
It still doesn't make that much sense, I'll be honest, but that's the way I've heard it explained. So.
Yeah, I saw him drilling that a little bit this morning, actually.
Now, one thing that'll be interesting here is you see two guys who are above the average height of the weight class.
Absolutely. Yeah, they're very, they've got that John Jones when he was at 205, that kind of height. Got some Reaction fans in the house and some people who are not so big of fans. I think kind of happens in a small market, folks.
Yeah, we had a very split Reaction and hybrid crowd the last time. So the other dynamic that plays out a lot of times is when you get two taller guys, a lot of times you see taller guys have a game that's centered around being taller than their opponent.
Using the length, they don't have that advantage this time. So we'll see if one of the fighters choose to exploit some inside game here. Both of them still staying at some distance. Ryan throwing some kicks to the body, and there's that oblique kick right down to the knee of Jordan Luna.
So Jordan kind of content to try to play a little bit of forward pressure game, at least the first few stanzas of this round. But he's got a very high single leg pickup here.
And again, Ryan, no slouch in the grappling game. He's got to watch out for his neck here. But as long as he clears that leg across his body on this takedown.
Luna doing a good job fighting for that underhook with his right arm, though.
There's that leverage I was talking about.
He needs to split his legs wider, I believe Ryan's got his hand. Oh.
Missed the suplex.
Yeah. He had good double unders control there.
Yeah. Missed the suplex. Ryan is very, very tough to hold down, though.
Yeah, we saw Luna went for an Americana immediately after the transition instead of stabilizing control. But now
as Ryan rolls into a leg lock exchange.
So we're in double outside Ashi, but it's very difficult. You don't want to get stuck underneath that leg drag turtle position, which is kind of where he's at right now.
I think Ryan holding on to that ankle for a little bit, allowed him to gather some composure. Still in that turtle position. Holding on to the gloves. Hooks coming in from Jordan Luna as he takes Ryan Bryant's back.
He's starting to come up, maybe look to transition to the arm triangle as he comes up, but Ryan does a good job getting all the way to his side to deny that. Still kind of hunting that arm triangle, but
looking for a good underhook half guard bottom here for Ryan Bryant as Jordan starts to pepper him with a couple shots. Reaching over for a Kimura.
Kimura on the same side as the half guard.
With a knee shield in.
Now he converts to the other side half guard with the Kimura, but he loses the Kimura.
He's lost his underhook, but he's got this knee shield position. Potentially looking to leverage this wrestle up here.
He needs a few shots for his troubles. Luna's done a very good job of getting the hooks quickly when he's on.
Very quick to get those hooks in.
Now the thing about back control in MMA is it's very difficult to finish RNCs.
You'll notice, and you'll notice Ryan looking to use that arm underneath the knee to escape that back body triangle. Ryan still maintaining this underhook, looking to use this to potentially wrestle up here. He's got to get to his left side here.
It's good double undershoot here. Very entertaining opening round there.
Yeah.
I would assume that goes 10-9 Jordan Luna.
Yeah, I would think so. Even with that, even with Ryan catching that kick and driving into that single leg and using that cage wrestling, I think that failed suplex, that belly to belly that he missed there, and really just fell right into mount. He was kind of on the defensive from then on out.
Yeah, that was an interesting because he was able to get his hands locked high around the butt, but instead, usually there you'd see people try to convert it to the big pickup double leg,
right
style, and turn around. And instead, he elected to try to go for a backward.
Yeah, and I don't know if that was a leverage problem that he had, but maybe Ryan being used to picking up shorter guys in that situation and being able to carry them to the appropriate corner. It's something that we teach a lot in our MMA classes. Is getting the fight into the corner where your coaches are, right? And maybe that was something he was looking to do, but I think that height discrepancy there that he's not used to potentially affected that ability to do that.
And Jordan Luna having good posture and good balance and being able to get his hips high enough, that's kind of why he was able to fall down into
Absolutely.
Now, Luna probably could have controlled that mount a bit better. He got a little greedy, I think, reaching for the Americana right as soon as they hit. And that sort of allowed Ryan to get into his defensive cycles where he was never able to really get back to mount. He was able to get back mount a few times, but Ryan was able to escape that well back into half guard.
Right.
So.
Yeah, we'll see how the cardio holds up here for both these fighters. I know Ryan is.
And this will be another 5-round fight. So,
yeah. This is for a title, I believe. Light heavyweight championship.
Tight defense on the inside, but Ryan's getting some offensive cycles going this round.
He's confident with his hands for somebody who's done it for such a short amount of time compared to most people who are fighting for an amateur title at this point in their career. He's looked very, very dominant in most of his exchanges.
Oh, that was a good knee.
You notice he's throwing combinations that are they're setup focused, right? He's not shortchanging his setups, so if they land, that's a bonus. But the second and third and fourth shots that are coming off of those are where he's making his money.
A nice left hand from southpaw and a jab over top of the guard.
You'll notice that Ryan likes to make contact with the outside of that lead left hand of Jordan Luna and really peel that hand down and snap a quick jab in there.
Yeah, and that also lets him establish the distance that he wants for that left head kick.
Yep. Notice that setup. Ryan will fake shots all day and shell up and get inside and really, like we were talking about in that first round, looks to be the one that's utilizing that inside space and control.
That was a good leg kick landed there by Ryan as well. Corner calling for a little more urgency from Jordan. He eats a body kick as he throws a jab. Oh, and a nice 1-2 there from Jordan Luna. Now, is Ryan a kind of a switch hitter, or does
he is? He actively works and trains to fight from both stances.
We've seen him make some adjustments and switch back to the orthodox stance.
Yeah, I think in when he was an offensive lineman, I think they had him on both sides of the line.
Okay.
So he's very, he's got very mobile hips, very active feet. So he's no stranger to switching that stance up, and I think it only benefits him. So he's not a one-dimensional, one-stance fighter.
Oh, there's that good oblique kick to the knee.
Yeah. That was paying off for him in the first round. It's surprising that he just went back to it.
That was a nice right uppercut up underneath. I couldn't tell if it made contact with the chin, but it seems like it found the pocket in between the elbows.
Now, I'm not sure how experienced Jordan is from a grappling perspective, but it definitely looked like the more competent grappler, and I would say that on the feet, Ryan's got the upper hand here.
Yeah, I would agree.
I think he's had Jordan, in a defensive posture most of the fight. There's that control, that wrist control that Ryan's looking for again. Some flying knees, coming back with a right knee off of the left that he hit.
Jordan's having success with that 1-2 against the southpaw stance when he can time it correctly and let it go.
There's that cardio that I was talking about. Seeing Jordan take some big breaths. The heel's dropping. He's been a traditional heel up on his back right foot the whole match, and I just noticed those last 10 seconds or so, he's really kind of sinking that weight.
Now, I would imagine if you're Rob Nickerson, you probably are in the corner picking up on the same things we saw, which is the relative advantage that Ryan has seems to be in the striking. I think he's probably trying to tell him to stay in open space, keep those striking exchanges going.
We talked about John Danaher earlier, being a prolific mind in jiu-jitsu and being able to strategize and and look at these grapplers, right? Take that same level of strategy and apply it to Professor Rob Nickerson when he's cage side. He will actively call out tells, change strategy, find openings that maybe we didn't see on film beforehand. He's a genius when it comes to this. He'll be able to tell some of the calls you'll hear him make. He'll tell him the setup that's going to be used, and then he'll see it once, and then that's all he needs to see to know it's going to come again.
And that's one of the things that comes along with not only having a great mind for fighting, but also having watched the sport for so many years. Your brain is just chunking all that information.
Yeah.
You're so good at pattern recognition.
Yep.
Understanding what the other corner is thinking at the same time.
Yeah, right now I would imagine, I can't hear Professor Rob, but I would imagine that little combination, that left hook, right uppercut combination that he noticed landed a couple times for Ryan in this last round. I think we're going to see him go back to it again. Ryan switching to that southpaw stance effortlessly.
And he's had a lot of success there.
Back to orthodox, little glancing knee there. And back to that oblique kick.
And we see Jordan Luna seems kind of perplexed, like he's trying to solve a puzzle that's just a bit above his pay grade right now.
I think that's what's been so impressive about Ryan. Again, he's only been training for a couple of years now. And to see him be able to confuse fighters and grapplers, he's no, like I said, he's no slouch on the ground, but to be able to confuse people with so many different techniques and them not be able to find so many patterns, I think has been one of the more impressive things that I've seen for such a young fighter.
Now we see Jordan starting to be a little bit more offensive.
Yeah, he's
having
definitely
more success. He can't stay on the end, and he's just getting perplexed by it.
Yep, and now he's going to his grappling game. And I think we'll see Ryan try and cover that head to a front headlock position and really use this cage to potentially find a Darce setup here.
Yeah, that's what it looked like he might be reaching for.
And I think Jordan's doing a good job of
and a
going low.
Big knee to the body as Jordan Luna stands.
Ryan needs to not get overzealous here.
Good cut.
But as he finds that potential for a triangle here, he's got one arm exposed, and now he's looking to arm drag to the back. And a nice flower sweep from Ryan Bryant to land up in a top half guard.
Absolutely beautiful. And what he needed in that, he needed to not let Jordan Luna settle on top of him.
This is a guy you don't want to have underhook, crossface, shoulder pressure as he drives over to that quarter mount with a heavy underhook, looking to pin that bottom arm and pepper him with some shots as he moves to a full mount and exposes the back of Jordan Luna. Using that cage to find the leverage and push off.
Jordan Luna's able to stand. Is he going to be able to take him over the top? It looks like at
Good
this point,
chest wrap there from Ryan.
Yeah.
As Jordan still finds his way on top. In a full close guard situation now.
I'm impressed with the transitions that Jordan's making, even when he's a bit tired here on the ground. That's a sign to me that he's a skilled grappler, that he's still able to win those exchanges when he's
absolutely. A little flat as Ryan drags him into that underhook back take position. But Jordan gets his back to the mat. Going to a knee on belly.
Jordan appeared to be trying to hit a wrestle up, but he flattened out there for a second.
I think Ryan will probably be fairly content here to.
Jordan's doing a good job of getting that butt up high to shake him off the top. It's one of the difficult things about playing the back in MMA. I caution my MMA fighters generally against playing a lot of the back. Beautiful work there by Ryan Bryant.
Very dominant position. Even though Jordan started that exchange with some heavy pressure forward, Ryan was able to reverse the position and really capitalize on that wall wrestling.
Yeah, the two times that Luna was able to get on top in those scrambles and exchanges, we saw Ryan not settle, get back on top, and get even more dominant position.
Yeah, absolutely. He did get a little excited there in some of those grappling exchanges, but we saw that that chest lock position where he had that 10-finger grip and those two underhooks from the back. He was able to still not slide off. Typically, when that bottom opponent is standing their hips high and their head low, they're looking to shuck their opponent off their back and bring them forward. And Ryan was able to still turn it into a back take exchange.
Yeah, even with asymmetrical hooks, it's tough to not slide off the back.
Absolutely.
And Luna's, for the most part, doing the right things in those grappling exchanges. He just doesn't seem to have the kind of pressure that he needs to pin Ryan.
Yeah, Ryan does a really good job of and something we didn't see Jordan necessarily do when he was in that situation. Ryan does a really good job of not only pressuring when he's in a grappling situation, but also throwing punches to keep his opponent guessing. And I think that's what kept Jordan on the run there and really kind of having to sacrifice those positions.
And I believe we're looking at 2 rounds to none or excuse me, 2 rounds to 1 for Bryant at this point.
Yeah, I would tend to agree. It was a heavy knee.
And if you're Luna, you got to be looking for something to change the pace of this fight. You don't want it to keep going exactly the way that it's progressing right now for another 2 rounds.
Both of them come out a little slow.
Back fist lands. Oh, and a nice right hook.
That was a heavy back fist. As Ryan looks to pepper shots here.
A nice right hand by Jordan Luna, though.
Good right hand. And a nice belly to back. Off the cage.
No, he's got to. If I were him right now, I'd be going right away to the half and try to turn him back to his. Yeah.
See, this is where Ryan was able to capitalize.
Oh, Jordan trying to go to the back, but he needs to get on top. He needs to win the hip height battle, and he does. He's able to mount. Now, will he be able to stick him here, though? Now, he appears to have an underhook on the far side. Oh, he let it.
He's got 2 underhooks.
Yep.
And I think we're going to see a potential bridge and roll here from Ryan.
And Luna went to grapevines, I believe, as he felt that coming.
I think he's looking for this isolation on
he's
Ryan's right arm.
Looking a lot for that Americana. Now he's in an arm triangle, though. Now, how are his finishing mechanics? He seems to be low enough. Ryan's doing a good job getting that elbow to the mat. So you see a lot of people using that, kind of bringing their arm over their head.
Superman swim move almost.
One of the hardest things to deal with.
Jordan doing a good job of grapevining those legs.
Jordan looking towards a Kimura from mount, which is generally ill-advised. If I were him, I would be focused more on keeping those underhooks and keeping Ryan pinned.
Maybe a little topside straight armbar here.
Yeah. He's working that the old school, he's called the mousetrap sequence. Now he's back on that Americana that he's been looking for all night.
I think this is going to give Ryan an underhook that he's looking for.
Yeah, I would agree. I think Jordan is a little bit overambitious with some of these submission attempts.
He's doing a good job of keeping Ryan's hips faced away from him and threatening those attacks, so he has to continue to turn away.
We see Jordan Luna's head just very far over that side. I think he doesn't seem to have the pinning mechanics developed yet.
And definitely not throwing the same volume of punches that we saw.
Now we see him digging on that arm triangle again. This time he's got a better angle.
This one's pretty deep.
He's got forehead to forehead. He might be able to finish this, ladies and gentlemen. He's got good mechanics. He needs to drop a lot of shoulder pressure and get his shoulder back just a smidge, I believe, if he wants to be able to put him to sleep and he gets the tap. Beautiful heart, overcoming some adversity there by Joe.
Didn't need the punches. Was content to set up his grappling game and find the opportunity to finish Ryan with an arm triangle.
Beautifully slick transitions from him. Like I said, I'm impressed with even though wearing some fatigue and still being able to win those exchanges.
Yeah,
he did a good job of landing a right hand, and while Ryan was stunned with the right hand, he went directly into the takedown.
Absolutely. Yeah, it was a great takedown sequence, and didn't want to give Ryan the opportunity to use the cage for any type of leverage to roll him. So really went for that belly to back situation in the middle of the cage.
And we've seen 2 championship fights tonight with 2 stoppages in the 4th round.
Yeah.
So I can't stress this enough. I want to see longer fights.
Yeah.
I understand that for amateurs, a lot of times we stay 3-2 or 3-3-minute rounds, depending on the state. But really, it takes time to tell a story. And we saw that in this fight.
Absolutely.
Sarah Ringrell just handed him the belt. She's not super excited to grab a hold of a sweaty man.
I don't think, I don't think unless you're...